Well, hey guys, we made it. Welcome to live stream reviews. Sorry for the delay. We're having a problem for it connecting to the chat. But anyways, hop on in on the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from. This is episode 50 of live stream reviews. We have reviewed hundreds over the years of live streams from churches all over the world, and it's been such a privilege and an honor. We're going to keep going. This is something we do for our sound partners. So if you're wondering how to get your live stream reviewed, partner with us for great sound. You'll get as many live stream reviews as you want, and not only that, but you will you'll get access to all of our training, which makes it easy for your church to sound great. It makes it easy for you to train newbies and to build your team. It's everything you need, kind of all packaged into one thing. You also get access to Collab AI, which is our new AI platform that only searches our training material so that you always get the same answer. If you have your whole team use just Chat GPT, you may get two different answers for how to set gain. And we want to make sure that doesn't happen because there's already enough confusion already. Yeah, let me just verify here, make sure everything looks like it's working great. I think we are good. Yep. If you can hear me, give me a thumbs up in the chat. If you're ready to get started, give me a thumbs up on the chat. Let me know where you're tuning in from. And we'll just go ahead and get started with this first one. Hey, good afternoon, Rachel. Great to see you. From Kade Young in Malaysia. Recently helped do the church live stream. They have an SQ7. That's a great mixer. They're using OBS. Currently, they have set for aux 8 as a sound feed. Not sure what I should do and press the aux 8 inside where these faders. It's done in Chinese, so I don't know. So we won't be able to understand what they're saying, but we can still give some suggestions on how it sounds. All right, let's take a listen. Yeah, Spud MCat, thought you were late. You're right on time, buddy. I was a few minutes late because I was having a hard time getting things going. But here we go. Let's jump into this first one. Let's go ahead and find where we start some music here. Always love seeing the kids at church. What a blessing. Looks like maybe we're at a VBS or something like that. Overall, this stream's a little bit on the quiet side. It's not too bad. I think people would still be able to get done what they need it. Like they'd be able to turn it up loud enough to be able to hear, but I imagine there's some people who would like it to be louder. I want you to go into the live stream course, and I'll walk you through in that course how to maximize the volume of your live stream. And for those watching, basically what you want to do is you add 2 layers of sound control to your live stream. So with your live stream bus, you'll add a compressor there to your live stream bus with a ratio of like 3:1, and set the threshold until you're compressing about 4 dB or so. That'll add some light compression to the overall mix, and then you'll apply a limiter on top of that, and that limiter will squeeze the most volume out of your live stream. And when you're setting the threshold on your limiter, you want to make sure that you're not limiting more than like 2 or 3 dB, or you're going to start to notice it as 4 dB at the most. And then there's a squeeze setting on there. You can usually set that around 40% before it starts to sound weird. You just have to kind of mess with the settings until you can squeeze the most volume out of your live stream mix as possible without it peaking. Let's keep listening to this. Yeah, I agree. AP drums need that precision limiter. Overall, this sounds pretty good. I think these vocal mics could use, make sure you have a low cut filter on all of them. Low cut filter should be set around 180 hertz, and you should have that on every vocal mic. I'm hearing a little bit of low implosives on those, so that would fix that. It would also brighten up these mics a little bit. Usually you still have to carve the low end even more than that. Somewhere around the 500 to 600 hertz range will take kind of that nasally, kind of boxy sound out of the vocals. So I would add a Q filter, or a PEQ filter with a Q value of about 3, and then drop that 500 to 600 hertz range about 4 to 6 dB, and you're going to notice your vocals sounding better. Drums sound pretty good. Yeah, overall we just need more volume out of this mix. And then those few vocal changes, and that'll take your mix to the next level. Thanks for sending this in. Press on and keep on a-going. Awesome. All right, looks up next is from Jeff in Idaho, using the Midas M32. They've been working hard for a while cleaning up the mix. Still like to improve the drum sound more. I tell you what, the drums, you can spend a lot of time with those. Those are my favorite thing to mix. And we just recently switched to electronic drums. And I can't believe that we switched to electronic drums, but we're actually, can't believe I'm saying this. We're loving them. We're loving it because we're in a small room, and we've been, for the last 18 years as a church, we've been fighting the acoustic drum, noise in the room. We did unshielded, partially shielded, fully shielded. We tried all the things, and finally I was like, you know what? Let's give these electronic drums a chance. So we got the Roland VAD 516 kit, and man, it sounded good. You're going to see a lot of videos on our YouTube channel on what I've learned so far using electronic drums. We've already posted one, so keep an eye out on that. Be sure you subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of those. My honest thoughts on electronic drums you'll find in all the details, and how I created a kit that actually sounds real, and how you get things dialed in. All that's coming to you soon on YouTube. Let's see, how do you apply a limiter on an SQ7? You use one of the effects slots, and one of those effects options will be a limiter, and then you will just insert that into the live stream aux on your SQ7. That's how you would accomplish that. Our pastor is still capable of plosive, and his vocal mic is a low cut at 250. Man, he's moving some air, isn't he? Yeah, some people are a little, they just use their lips more than others, I guess. All right, well, let's take a look. Run a live stream through Pro Tools. Oh, okay. So they're not using a aux mix or a bus mix like I recommend in the course, but that's okay. It's cool to use a DAW if you have the capability of doing that. So let's take a listen and see how it sounds.
Taking him at his word. I'll take you at your word. If you said it, I'll believe it. I've seen how good it works. If you start it, you'll complete it. I'll take you at your word. If you said
acoustic guitar sounds really good. Great job. Believe it or not, that's a hard thing to get right, and you got it. Spot on.
If you start it, you'll complete it. I'll take you at your word. Your word is the lamp unto my feet, and your way is the only way for me. It's a narrow road, it's a narrow road that leads to life, but I wanna be on it. It's a narrow road, but the mercy's wide, 'cause you're good on your promise. I'll take you at your word. I'll take you at your word. You said it, I'll believe it. I've seen how good it works.
Okay, so overall on this mix, I want some more energy from the instruments. It's like I can hear them all great. I hear the piano, I hear the guitar, but what I'm missing is just energy from the overall mix. And I think it's just because the balance of the vocal and the instruments isn't quite right. The vocal is, I always say we want the lead vocal to sit right on top of the overall mix to where you hear every word. Sometimes we get carried away and we put the vocal kind of up here in the atmosphere, in the stratosphere. That's kind of what's going on here. He needs to be brought back down with the instruments a little bit, and it's going to make the instruments sound fuller overall whenever you do that. Speaking of the lead vocal, I'm trying to decide if I like it or not, because it sounds good and it sounds clean. It sounds very polished. It almost sounds like over polished to me is the thing that I'm struggling with. Like when I'm watching him and listening, it's just kind of like there's a mismatch going on in my brain. It's like I want it to feel a little more authentic than it does. It just sounds a little bit over processed to me. So I know you probably have like an exciter going on and all these things to make him sound like he sounds. And like I said, it sounds good. I would maybe just dial back those effects a little bit. Just whatever you're doing, just dial it back a little bit so we get a little more of the natural sound. And so I think his vocal would sound more authentic and natural if you do that.
That His grace is always enough. Let's declare these truths. You send your love, you never give up. You send your grace is always enough. You send your heart, will never forget or forsake me.
I see what you mean with the drums. They're just sounding a little bit, they are lacking a little bit. Like they need to come a little more forward in the mix. There needs to be a little bit more clarity to them. My mind goes to checking the gate on these drums first and tightening up the gate. That can make such a big difference in the drums, especially like the kick drum. Like gate it to where, it just barely, so it's just a really tight kick drum. Do the same for the toms, except you want to make sure that the decay of your gate matches the natural decay of those toms. And overall, they can come up. The drums can come up in this mix. Even the cymbals, like just overall, the drums can come up. Especially that snare drum. Snare drum's kind of getting buried a little bit in this mix, and I like to think of the snare drum similar to the lead vocal. It should be right there in the front of the mix. Kick, snare, kick, snare, kick, snare. I'd also tighten up the compression on the bass guitar because it's in there, but it's kind of like going in and out. I want a more steady sound from the bass guitar, and really tightening up that compression can accomplish that for you. So you're gonna adjust that threshold until the gain reduction meter on the compressor is probably hitting 9 to 12 dB. Is probably what I would aim for. And then you can use your makeup gain to bring the level up where you need it to be.
Thank you so much for your goodness and your mercy. Yes, hallelujah. We give you praise, Lord God. Thank you so much for your word that you are true.
Okay, so I just want to say your mix sounds great. And I just went through a lot of things, but I believe that's what you were asking me for. You already have a great mix and you're looking to take it to the next level. So I don't know if I gave you too much. You can pick just like one or two of those things that I talked about and then resubmit it again for next month's review, and we can keep going from there. But thank you for sending this in. It's great to hear. You're doing a great job, man. It's a really great mix. Thanks for sending it in. All righty. Let's see what we got here in the comments. DAW stream be better than audio going from the cons, in your opinion? Yeah, I get it, David. You can do a lot more with a DAW. In my mind, I'm always thinking of the churches who, they barely have an audio guy for the room, right? So adding a DAW or even a separate mixer for the live stream means that you have to have two people running it all the time. So I'm always looking for that balance of how can we get something that sounds great, but also keep it simple at the same time. And that's why my vote is always for a bus mix, because I found that there are things that you can do to get a great sound through a bus mix. Now, could it be better on a DAW? Always, right? If you know what you're doing. But you can still get a great result on a bus mix that would please everybody in the church who's listening. Let's see. That guy set up my soundboard before, put a matrix after the bus, and it's messed with the mixing live stream bus. Do you think it's okay to just do away with the matrix or just use? Absolutely. Yeah, do away with the matrix. A matrix mix you only want to use a matrix mix whenever you need just like a slight variation of the main mix. So we're talking about like lobby speakers or restroom speakers, or maybe an overflow room or things like that. That's when you would use a matrix mix. And sometimes in those cases, you'd even use a bus mix. So you got to think, if all I need to do is like re-EQ the main mix, like, so you have a room EQ going on in the main room, but you want to also send the mix to the lobby, you just don't need that same EQ in the lobby. That's when you would use a matrix. But in the case of a live stream, you're also going to be making adjustments on the levels of each individual channel for the live stream. So in that case, you would use a bus. Hope that made sense. Let's see. What are your thoughts on DAW versus console mix? We just talked about that. Great to see you, Brian. That's a quality mix right there. Totally agree. You have the extender panels for the shields, but don't know how to install them properly. Yeah, I think, you just put them on there and then angle them in towards the drummer. Am I still live? Joe, yes, I'm still live. This is live. I was listening to the mix. It's kind of checking other console broadcast mixes. Let's see. How would some send in the live stream to get reviewed? Hey, Sean, this is something we do for our sound partners. So all you got to do is partner with us. You'll also get access to all of our courses and one-on-one support and live stream reviews. There's a link in the description on how you can do that, and we would love to have you. All right, this next stream is from Alex in, what's IA? Is that Iowa? I need to go back to geography class, apparently. Minus M32, that's a great mixer. We currently stream our opening songs, announcements, and message. We want to start streaming the songs after the message, but want to dial in the sound better before we do. After several months of using your methodology, we think we're ready, but we want your feedback on the music portion. Any feedback, welcome. Broadcast is done by the front of house engineer as a bus mix, sent to a matrix, and then to OBS. All right, well, let's take a listen.
Here we go, here we go. You know this one. Here we go, kids. Goodbye, yesterday. I'm living in the light of a new day. I won't waste another minute of my old days. Praise the Lord, I've been born again. Goodbye, yesterday. I'm living in the light of a new day. I won't waste another minute in my old days. Praise the Lord, I've been born again. Oh, I've been born again. Again and again and again. You rescued me out of the mess I was in. You traded my sorrow for something to sing. Now I'm dancing on the grave that I once lived in.
All right, so is this ready to go live? Can you start streaming your music for the church? Absolutely. You have a great start going here, so keep going.
Praise the Lord.
The first thing that I noticed on what we could do to improve this mix is it's sounding dull. It almost sounds like there's an EQ on the overall mix that's cutting out everything above 8 kilohertz or so, 8 or 9 kilohertz. It makes me wonder if maybe you have some room EQ going on and that's getting also applied to the live stream mix. That is one of the problems of using a matrix, which you said you did. You want to use a post-fader bus mix for your live stream, just skip the matrix, and that will make sure that whatever you have inserted on your main mix doesn't also get applied to the live stream. On your live stream bus, just make sure that you're not cutting those high frequencies, anything above 8 kilohertz or so. Because I'm just kind of wondering where did that go? Where did the frequency spectrum go?
To follow Jesus, the world behind, the cross before, and I won't turn back. I have decided.
The reverb that you're using has a little bit too long of a decay time, so I would shorten that. It almost sounds like it's 5 or 6 seconds right now. So take a look at your reverbs. You should be using a plate reverb and a hall reverb. The plate reverb should have a decay time of around 2 seconds, and the hall should be 3 to 4 seconds, somewhere around there. Right now it's just sounding a little bit unnatural. It sounds like you're in this huge arena, and we can see that you're not. So you want to dial that back to make sure that it matches what we're seeing.
Follow Jesus, the world behind, the cross before, and I won't turn back. Oh, I won't turn back.
I think under that, we have a great mix going on. If we get that reverb fixed up, and also we need to maximize the volume on this, so make sure that you are, go through in the live stream Mix Made Simple course, go through that, where I talk about how to maximize the volume of your live stream. I'm going to have you add a compressor to the live stream bus and also a limiter, and those two things are going to enable you to get a lot more volume out of this live stream because it's just overall pretty quiet. So go ahead and do those things, fix the reverb, maximize the volume, and then we'll take it from the next level after there. But you shouldn't hesitate to put this online because this is a great start. So keep going. Keep going. You're doing great. Thanks for sending that in, Alex. I appreciate it. All right. I felt like I would set my live stream bus. It sounded good though, headphones, but the matrix was going to the live stream. Everything sounded off, like there was more being added. Yeah, matrix. With the matrix, you can also like combine your main mix with a bus mix and bring things together. So that's probably what's going on. Do I only review live streams like this? I review all church live streams for our sound partners. Where the cymbals too loud with the acoustic set? With an acoustic set, yes, that is the problem that we had. If you're referring to why we switched from acoustic drums to electronic drums after all these years, it depended who the drummer was. We had some drummers who were very controlled, and then more recently we have a new drummer who is just having a little bit more of a challenge playing the level that they need to do. Now I get it, because in the size of room that we're in, for the drummer to be controlled, they really got to hold back. There can be some energy in there, but not a whole lot. So we just decided to solve that problem by getting electronic drums, and yeah, we're loving it. All right, let's keep going. Ryan from Kansas, really struggling to get the audio level throughout the service. The music is always louder, even with limiter and compressor. All right, well, let's take a listen, see what we got going on. I'm going to fast forward. Let's find some, looks like we got some talking here. Music here, maybe. Turn up the level.
And I ran out of that grave, out of the darkness, into your glorious day. You called my name.
You got a good thing going here. One thing that I noticed that could take it to the next level is we need some reverb on these vocals and on the piano as well. A vocal or a reverb is really going to bring this mix to life. There's also a lot going on in the in the low mids, which is making them sound just kind of like too much. And that's really not your fault as a mix engineer. It's what the instruments are giving you to work with, but you know, they give you what they give you. So some tricks that I've learned that really help is I can see you have bass guitar, electric guitar, acoustic guitar, and piano, and they're all playing in that same range. So I would take the acoustic guitar and I would thin it out. I would put a low shelving filter at around 900 Hertz, and I would probably cut it 6 to 9 dB. That's going to make the acoustic guitar on its own sound really thin, but it's going to help clean up that low mid section. That gives room for the piano and the electric guitar to occupy that space. It just takes instead of having 3 people all in the same space, that makes the acoustic guitar more rhythmic in the upper frequency spectrum. Now, keep in mind, if you're going to do that, make sure that if the acoustic guitar ever just plays by himself, you have an acoustic service or something like that, that you remove that filter and bring that depth back to the acoustic guitar if he's all by himself.
So thankful. So I want to read from Colossians 1.
I also noticed that the background vocal here could have used a little more compression. She jumped in and out of the mix a little bit, so dialing in her compression a little more. Again, you're going to set the threshold. If you've watched the lesson on that, you're going to set the threshold so that the gain reduction meter on the compressor settings screen is averaging around -6 dB at her loud moments. Let's take a listen to the volume difference between the music
free
and
from my
the
sin
preaching.
nature. I'm free. Keep bearing fruit through us.
That are relatable. People would understand these earthly, physical, secular truths.
Till I make now your mercy has seen.
Maybe going through the series and really praying through. I thought that there would be more fruit in my life by now. You know, I have this thing where I have to keep reminding myself because
he sounds good. Actually, he's probably a hair louder than what the music was. So, not sure why you're thinking that it's a lot quieter. Maybe somebody's telling you that, but whoever's telling you that, Ain't really paying attention.
Mature, and I would never slip up and say things I don't want to, and I would be patient, and I would never raise my voice. I mean, I thought I would be level, mature.
Going back to the music.
Satan tempts me to despair.
Yeah.
And tells me other.
I don't notice a huge volume difference there, so I think you're doing a great job. Awesome. Thanks for sending this in, Ryan. I appreciate it. All right. Were the cymbals too loud? Oh, we already got that. You guys are active in the comments. Thanks for being a part of this. I really appreciate it. Vocals need a bit of delay. I don't use delay on vocals. I use reverb. Delay can be distracting and hard to get dialed in because you usually have to set it to the tempo of the song, and not everybody's paying attention close enough to reset that for every song. Let's see. Question. My drummer says that he feels the click is not clear enough. We're using a DI box, but I don't want to clip it. We're using playback and are not able to control levels on it. Is the click going through its like own channel on his, how is his in-ear set up? Does he have a P16? Is he able to control this himself? Give me some more detail on how your setup is there, and I'll walk you through it. Listening on his phone is hard to say. Yeah, absolutely. If you're listening on your phone, you're not going to get the full audio spectrum. So I got these headphones on today. The reality is most people are listening on their phone. So it may not, even if it doesn't sound good in headphones, but it sounds good on the phone, you are pleasing most people. But you're hurting the heart of those of us who love great audio. Let's see. So you do use P16s. You gained it up, but he feels like when it's gained up, it gets in the way of the mix. I don't know. I've not had that problem with the drummer. I mean, you could EQ the click to help him out. Using playback. I don't know. Maybe your drummer has a hard time with the frequency spectrum that click is. I would try maybe on the playback app, you can choose different click sounds for the click, I believe. So I would go kind of deep into the settings on that app and maybe try a different sound. Maybe that'll help him out. Struggle with struggles. Drummers bringing their own snare, cymbals, pedals. I'm out of bounds, thinking they should work with what we have. Oh boy. No, you're not out of bounds. If it were me, that's exactly what I would do. I'd say, you're using our drums because we already have them tuned and mic'd the way that we want them. Yeah. So those can be fun conversations, but hold your ground. How can I submit a live stream? This is something we do for our sound partners. So partner with us, and you'll also get access to our courses, one-on-one support. There's a link in the description on how you can do that. Brian, you watch a lot of our videos, especially on the X32 and M32 consoles. Both my churches don't have that console, though one is the Allen and Heath, and the other church has a Persona Studio Live. Yeah, I have a mastery course for the QU24. I do not have a mastery course for the Personas, though. So if you're wanting training from me specifically on the QU24, become a sound partner because you'll get access to QU Mastery, and you can watch me. You can learn these things on your specific mixer. Alrighty, this one's from Madral Thomas out of Texas. Need some help. I'm losing viewers during our praise and worship on our live stream. Thank you. That may or may not be because of the sound of it, but let's take a listen.
1 through 6, 1 through 7. And it reads as such: God be merciful.
Gotta play that organ.
And bless us.
Let's see here. I'm gonna go forward.
Name God. You are so worthy, God. Hallelujah.
Come down.
The praise go up.
Praise go up.
My healing come down.
Healing come down.
Praise go up.
Praise go up.
Praise go up.
Praise go up.
When the praises go up.
When the praise go up.
When the praise go
All right, so
up.
you're pushing this stream too hard. So there's peaking going on, and it's just loud overall. So you need to back off your levels on your live stream. You're hitting red somewhere, maybe in multiple places. So that in itself, getting those levels correct to where nothing's hitting red, nothing's peaking out, is going to make a huge difference in the way that this sounds.
Blessings come down. Blessings come down. Blessings come down.
Blessings come down.
Say yeah. Yeah. Blessings come down. Blessings come down. Say yeah.
And the organ needs to come down in comparison to the level of the vocals. It's fighting with the vocals. So bring that organ down. Yeah, we need to fix the peaking problem. That's the main thing. That's probably what's irritating people, because even, people who aren't even keen on great audio, they notice when something sounds distorted, and it can be irritating to their ears. So you probably are losing viewers because of that. So however you're running your live stream, you want to go and reduce the levels of your live stream. If you need help on that, since you're one of our sound partners, just log in and go schedule a one-on-one support call with us, and we can go through your exact setup, because there's probably several layers that it's going through. We can go through that and help you find out where the adjustment needs to be made. And then once you make that adjustment, I want you to resubmit it, because then we can actually hear what's going on under the distortion and keep going from there. So thanks for sending that in. Let's keep working on that. All righty. I say this as a drummer, I use what we have. Hey, nice. Absolutely. All right, Timothy from Ohio. Why do my vocals sound awful, and what can I do to fix the stream? Well, let's take a listen and we'll figure it out.
Oh, my soul. Praise the Lord.
Okay, so this is another one where we're pushing this stream way too hard volume wise. So we need to back off the volume of things so that we're not peaking. That's gonna make a huge difference, because I'm thinking you're hitting a limiter here or a compressor or something, and so it's just squashing your mix and making it sound really weird. So that's what's happening. So you need to find out where that's going on, and if you need help finding it, schedule a one-on-one call with us. You just log into your account and you can schedule a call there, and we will get on there and walk you through, is it, the audio interface between your mixer and your computer, or however you have it set up. Everybody has it set up a little bit differently, so we just need to talk with you one-on-one to figure out what that is. Yep, that's what you got, a limiter just like squashing this thing down like huge. So once you get that fixed, we can actually hear what the mix is underneath all that, and we can make some adjustments from there. So let's get that fixed first. Then I want you to resubmit your stream after that's fixed, and we will continue making improvements. All right, thanks, Timothy. Let's see who we got next. This is from Nikki McCormick out of Texas. All instruments are being played. Making sure that all instruments are represented fairly. It's hard to capture the sound of the organ without raising the ambience mics on the live stream. Also forgot to mention that there are 2 condenser microphones facing the choir section. None of the sound is being pushed out front of house. Mic's fairly close to stage left. Yeah, I get that. They're not properly EQ'd either, though it might help for me to ring out the microphones and EQ them that way, perhaps. Well, I do control the sound that goes out to our live streams, also the music ministry playing the drums. Well, yeah. It's hard to mix sound when you're playing the drums, so. All right, let's take a listen. Oh, by the way, you sent me a Facebook link, and the way that I have this set up, I'm not able to pull up Facebook streams, only YouTube. So I went to your all's YouTube channel and pulled the most recent video. So I know this isn't the one that you sent in, but hopefully this gets the job done. I like this. I feel like it's a perfect balance of ambience and direct sound, so great job on that. I'm gonna scrub around a little bit here and see what else we got going on.
Father, in your infinite love, you made us for yourself. And when we had fallen into sin, giving.
For the style of music that this is, you're nailing it. I think it could just use a little bit more volume, this stream overall. And again, we've talked about this kind of throughout the stream, but make sure you are applying a limiter to the overall live stream bus. If you need help on how to do that, head to the course, the Live Stream Mix Made Simple course, and you'll find a lesson there on how to do that. And you'll be able to just raise the volume of this live stream. That lead vocal needs to be just a little bit louder in this mix, just a little bit. And I think that the piano could benefit from a little reverb on it. Nothing else needs reverb, but the piano sounds like it could use some. I would put a hall reverb on that with a decay time of like 3 or 4 seconds. And that'll help it blend in with everything else that's going on, because everything else has a nice ambience from the room and the piano is just sounding a little bit dry. So yeah, great job. Thanks for sending that in. Great job. I appreciate it. Alrighty. Thanks, Spudim Cat, for the encouragement. I appreciate it. Oh, and got another question. We have some pitchy singers who tend to be dipped into the live stream mix. They notice, should we let it go or try to put our best sound online? You should put your best sound online. Maybe have a talk with the worship leader. If you got pitchy singers that aren't getting better, maybe they are not in the right place. Yeah. Those are fun conversations to have. You're doing the right thing though. If it's not adding to the mix, if it's actually a distraction to the mix, then they should be brought down, because our whole goal is to lead people in worship. And for vocals that are really pitchy, I mean, it's a distraction in worship. So I would, if somebody was really pitchy and they were a background singer, I would just pretty much turn them down all the way. I say that with a smile. All right, Alex from Iowa, thanks so much for your feedback. Since that link we have discovered the reverb issue was a house mic issue, any further feedback considering the room mics? Let's see. Room mics. So you're telling me that it wasn't actually a reverb issue. It's just that you had too much room mic in there. So yeah, you just need to dial back, I guess, the amount of room mic that you had in there. And that makes me wonder where you have it positioned. Can you let me know before we sign off here where the room mics are in relation to the stage? If you can tell me that. What's the best way to get a consistent live stream set up on the X32? Is it through a separate mix or through a pair of bus mixes or through a matrix copying the in-house mix? I prefer to use a pair of bus mixes that are set to post fader. That way it does follow your main mix, but it gives you the ability to modify things in your live stream mix. And what I find is that I usually have to bring everything set at 0 dB going into that live stream bus is where I start it. And then I'm usually bringing the vocals down about 3 to 5 dB because the volume that we have to have them in the room to make sure that every word is heard comes across as too loud on the live stream mix. And there's usually some other adjustments that I have to make, but I don't find myself adjusting things for the live stream more than like 5 or 6 dB. I'll bring the pastor's mic up 3 to 4 dB, somewhere around there, just to give a better balance between the music and the pastor's mic. But don't that's not like a hard, fast rule. You need to use your ears and just make those adjustments on the live stream so that whatever's going on in the room reflects well on the live stream. E-drum cymbals sound great. Yeah, absolutely. I was a Timothy Porter live stream, but yeah, I think I found the solution. Awesome. Thanks for your input. We have those chats about pitch, including recording rehearsals, and there's quite a bit of denial from said singers. Yeah, and what's funny is that whenever they listen to themselves back and they don't hear it, because I can remember I was a worship leader for many years, and as I was learning how to sing better, I would record myself, and then I would listen back, and I would always be disappointed with how it sounded. But I used that way of practicing to change the way that I sang and learn how to open my throat, learn how to move more air, and all that kind of stuff. But I don't know what to do whenever somebody listens back and they don't notice that they don't sound good. That's kind of a hard thing to fix. It makes you wonder if they're a little bit tone deaf, which is not somebody that you want singing. Room mics are directly under the mains, about 10 feet off the ground, pointed directly out. We muted them 2 weeks ago, and it's the best it sounded yet. Huh? Yeah. If the room mics aren't adding anything, then I guess don't add them. You know what I mean? I like to hear, like, especially in the preaching and things like that, the response of the room, but maybe you have a quiet congregation, so that doesn't matter anyway. You may even try just adding a little bit of the room mic. I don't know. It's interesting. You must have a pretty lively room with how big that the ambience sounded with those room mics. It's very interesting. I also get pushback regarding auto-tune, so we battle on. You know, the thing about auto-tune is if somebody is really off, then auto-tune just tunes them to the wrong note, and then it's even worse. Oh, funny things. All right, here's our last review for today. Manuel from Texas. Today's like the Texas live stream. Welcome everybody from Texas. You guys are practically my neighbors. I'm in the Tulsa, Oklahoma area. All right, muddied our lead singer's voice, but in seconds I adjusted the mic's EQ and low cut filter to clean it up, and the kick's compression needed adjustment in the attack release settings for a fuller and punchier feel instead of a squish splat sound. That did take me about a minute after the drums came in. We're not in a high budget church, but overall I'm pleased with how it's coming together. Awesome. Sounds like you're making great progress. God has been really good to us, and the glory is for him. Amen. Although we all sound techs may have different preferences and experience levels, the feedback is greatly appreciated, well received. It's about a 30-minute video, but you can start from the top and ride the buildup of the song. It's beautiful. All right, Manuel, let's take a listen. Let me find where the singing starts.
Levanta tus manos si puedes, levanta tus manos.
Wow. Her vocal sounds great.
Díselo al Señor.
Piano and guitar sound great. Loving it.
Dile al Señor, si tú tienes miedo, dile al Señor.
Así es que yo me rindo a tus pies a abandonar cada duda y falsedad. Así es que yo me
I'm going to go forward to hear some more instruments.
Jesús, haz lo que quieras conmigo.
Kick drum.
Haz lo que quieras conmigo. Espacio te haré, Jesús. Haz lo que quieras conmigo. Haz lo que quieras conmigo. Espacio te haré, Jesús.
This vocal over here needs to learn how to hold her mic. That's too far away from her mouth. Which is probably why we don't hear her. Okay, this is great. Really great job. It's a great full mix. It's bright, it's clean. I mean, it's a joy to listen to. There's only two things that I would do to this mix if I were there doing it right now. I would, on the piano, I would tighten up the compression on the piano. I'd compress it just a little more than it is, because whenever he really hits it, it just jumps out of it goes a little bit too loud in the mix. But then whenever he's just playing, it's perfectly balanced in the mix. So compression, narrow that dynamic range a little bit on him. And then the second thing is I would add a little more hall reverb to that lead vocal. Just to make her a little bit wider. All right, dude, thumbs up. Really great job. Manuel, you're rocking it, man. You are doing great. All right. Well, hey, looky there. That was it. Let's see. I'm going to check these comments, then we'll hop off of here. Our space is super live. It's an old tennis facility. Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, try it with the sermon only. See how that sounds. How to run that pair of mix buses specifically into OBS. I tried doing it Sunday and noticed that OBS was picking up buses 1 through 8, not just the mix. Do you have it connected with the directly USB out of the X32 into your computer? If so, usually it just pulls whatever the first two let's see, did you tell me what mixer you have? You have the X32. If you have it connected that way, where it's USB output into your streaming computer, then OBS is going to pull the first two outputs that you have set on card in your routing. So you'll have to go and see what that is. If you need to use something other than 1 and 2, card output 1 and 2, then you can, if you're using a Mac, you can use a program called Loopback, and it will let you fine tune your routing settings. Let's see, we're getting really technical here. Or if you're one of our sound partners, just schedule a one-on-one call with us. We'll walk you through how to set that in. It's amazing how many different ways that we can set that up. Those are some isolated drums, huh? Yep, and they sound good too. That's so funny. They're way back in there in their own room, and sometimes whenever they set them up that way, it doesn't sound good because it sounds like they're in their own room, but they did a great job making it sound like it was part of the band. Now, would I like to be the drummer sitting back in that room? Probably not. All right, yeah, the X32. You've given us the confidence to stream the whole service for the first time this weekend. Thanks. Awesome. Glad to hear it. All right, everybody. This has been a great joy. It's our 50th episode of live stream reviews. It's like a great what do you call that, accomplishment, and I look forward to the next one. We do this once a month, sometimes twice a month, if we need to make sure that we keep up with everybody's stream. If you're one of our partners, submit your stream, we can get you next time. If you're not a sound partner, become one, because we would love to have you. Links in the description on how to do that. You're going to love the courses. You're going to love being able to train your team, get them all on the same page, bring in newbies, all the things. And that's what we're here for. And we would love to partner with you to make it easy to sound great. Thank you, everybody. I appreciate you being here with me. And I hope you guys have a great week. And happy mixing, you guys. And we'll see you next time. Bye now.